let me be great. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and put a microphone in because I can't talk any louder. And I'm doing this as a live because I don't feel like doing a video. But literally, y'all, why won't ADHD let me be great? Hold on a second. Let me figure this out. Okay. I have to charge the phone. Um, so I think I got the notice about this on Friday, this audition on Friday. And it required some creativity to the audition, right? Okay. You should be able to hear me differently. So I'm in my sister's office. She works from home. Um, and it's after midnight. I got this audition on Friday, I believe, and it required that we be creative with the role. And there were no lines to learn. So that just made it a little different. There was a scenario, right? But there was no lines to learn. And the instructions were to be creative. I know y'all see it, right? I know y'all see it. I'm going to talk about this in a second. I know y'all see it. But okay. So it was due like my agent. Yeah, I got an agent. I've actually had her for like some time, but this is like the first full year that I've really gotten work from her. So I'm actually SAG eligible now, thanks to a commercial I shot last July, July 2023. Um, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So she sends me this and she stresses in the email, like, make sure it's in by midnight. Cause I know it says Monday, but it's Monday midnight, not Monday. So she's like, it needs to be in by midnight on Sunday evening and Eastern Standard Time. So I basically, and this is the thing about ADHD, people think it's procrastination. And yes, by definition of the word of procrastination, that's what's happening. But I saw it described a better way. Y'all know, like when you do coffee, we're not talking instant coffee, we're not talking go to someplace and buy it. But in the old days, when you were responsible for making your own coffee and you had to put it in a brewer and the water had to percolate through the beans in order or the grounds or whatever. I don't drink coffee. So whatever it is, it percolated. I make tea in coffee machine. So it's essentially the same thing. When you hear all that like all that noise, the percolation, right? And so we call it procrastination, but it's actually percolation for the most part. Like procrastination is usually tied into fear, right? That's where procrastination really comes from. But I knew that I was going to shoot this video. I knew I was going to do my self tape and send it in. I knew I was going to do it because I said I was going to do it. And I am in the practice of doing the things that I tell myself I'm going to do because I am on the journey of rebuilding my self trust. And the way you rebuild your self trust is you start keeping your word, right? So I knew I was going to shoot it. So it wasn't necessarily procrastination in that I feared anything. I actually percolated. And that's like how people say it is is that we sit on it and we chew and 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 chew on the idea, on the job, on the task, on the assignment, on the essay prompt, on whatever it is. We sit there and we percolate on it, and we're waiting for those ideas to start coming out of the and to start dripping into the canister. Listen, when you get nails on, you talk with your hands. You understand me? But anyway, so um so that's what I was doing. I was like, okay, how am I going to do this differently? How am I going to do this differently? Because we had to do the job three different ways. So they had to be three completely different ways. And so I'm just percolating, percolating, percolating. And Saturday goes by. I'm like, okay. And then Sunday, I was like, oh shoot, it's Sunday. I gotta get it done today. And then I forgot. But my mind was sitting there percolating. And then I was scrolling through my messages because I also get a text message that says, hey, you have an audition. So I was scrolling through my text messages about 6 o'clock today, and it was like, you have an audition. And I was like, oh shoot, yes, I do. And so I went back to percolating. And so I'm in bed, um, and this is a crazy thing about, like, for some of us with ADHD is that we buffer. So if we have something due, or we have somewhere to go, or we have an appointment, we buffer. Like, we can't do anything else. So after I washed the dishes and fed the kids and spent a little bit of time with them and made sure that they got in bed by 10, my mind was like, all right, girl, let's really get to percolating. And so at 11 o'clock, y'all, it was due at midnight. At 11 o'clock, my mind goes, bing, idea. And I'm like, how am I going to get an idea at 11 o'clock and it's due by 11:59? This is how I got my first TEDx, by the way. I percolated on that too. And then I turned in my application at 11:58 p.m. the night it was due. So I percolated and I was like, you know what? This is actually what happened. When 11 o'clock hit, I was like, okay, let me go put on some makeup because you have to be camera ready. I'm looking greasy because my face needs to be cleaned. But and you guys can't see light. Her light is bad. Anyway, so I have on foundation, the Fenty foundation. I said, so let me put on some makeup real quick. And I know that I'm gonna have to hold the phone. So let me throw on some nails. And I happened to, when I was looking through my box earlier this week, I happened to see that I still had a few nails left from my kit. Hence one hand, one hand of nails, y'all. And so I was like, I'll make sure to be expressive with this hand and keep this hand as tucked away as I possibly can. And so that's what that was. I love these, by the way. I'm going to link them below when I go back and adjust this description. But y'all, these nails right here, they're crooked because I hurried up and put them on because it was like 11:20 by the time I came in and recorded. Um, but these nails right here, these are awesome. First of all, I don't like long nails. And so the fact that they're short, I absolutely love. And that is so crooked. Like, it really is like super crooked. I was hurrying up, and then they're not even the right size. So I'm squeezing some on that just don't belong on that set on that nail. Cause I'm like, I got to hurry up. So, and like this one, I didn't even put on properly. So I messed up all the stickiness. So you see that right there. Cause see how far back I got it? Child, please. I was in a rush. So I didn't put it on properly. Otherwise it would be sticking. Cause you see, these are sticking. These are actually sticking. So I didn't put it on properly. But anyway, I'm gonna link these below. These are my favorite. These are by Kiss. They are my favorite. And then I love green. Like these. So I accidentally bought these. I went to buy nails. I accidentally bought these because I love the color. And I didn't know that they were just sticky things because I also bought glue too. So I didn't know they were just sticky things, like literally stick on nails and not glue. Because I had the job that I talked about earlier that I was going to get, it was $43 an hour. I was going to meet the team in person, and I know how people judge you by your hands. So I went and grabbed nails real quick to put on because I don't have any. I've had like the most stress in the world. I'm 45 years old. I've never been this stressed in my life. Like, y'all, look at this. Okay, so you see my hair? You can see hair. I can pull hair, right? I can pull hair. I can pull hair here. Oh, I'm starting to not be able to. But this is my stress spot. So you cannot look at that. Oh gosh, look at that. Look at that. See that? See how short it is? So I'm actually very close to cutting my hair off so that I can just start over. Um, I'm just that stressed out that I've lost my hair. Anyway, so I threw these on and they have become my favorite. One, I love the color. They're money green to me. So I love the color. They're not money green. They're emerald green. They're actually called emerald. I love emerald green. And so these are really, really, really pretty. They just don't look good on my hands right now because I look very man handy right now going into the camera, the way the camera's set up. You know, the closer things are to the lens, the bigger things look. So don't do that. Don't put your face. Anyway, so so I threw these on. I threw on some makeup, and then while I was doing that, I went, I know what I'm gonna do today. Like I'm Phineas and Ferb. Hey, I know what I'm gonna do today. And so I went, got the camera, set it up, and then did my first scene. You know, like I had already put on the makeup and stuff, but I was like, I'm gonna redo this because I had to shoot. It had to be like a lifestyle shoot. That's what it was, a lifestyle type of shoot with a particular scenario, and it required you to be like this, and then like this, and then like have a phone. And so I was like, you know what? I'll act like I'm putting on makeup, and I'm sorry, I'll act like I'm putting on makeup, and then yeah. I always gotta check the mic because y'all, I've recorded with the mic off one time and there was no sound. I recorded for an hour, not live stream, but a recording. And I'm actually about to shoot a video now, since I already have makeup on. Anyway, so I got the first idea then. And when I got that first idea, and then I got the second idea while I was doing the first idea. And then while I was doing the second idea, then I got the third idea. And I shot them, looked at them, quickly edited them in TikTok because I like to use a TikTok editor, to cut off the beginning and the end, put it together, downloaded it, and then shot it off on Casting Network before midnight. Guess what time? 11:58. So while I did title this, Why Won't ADHD Let Me Be Great? And I see that in the instance of the fact that I have to percolate. I have to sit on ideas and ideas and ideas and ruminate and ruminate and ruminate and ruminate until something drips out and it's like, okay, got it. Let's go. And I will tell you, for the most part, when I allow myself that time of percolation, it's like often my best stuff. Often my best stuff. Um, and it's what they call negative reinforcement because it's like, dang it, I should not be waiting till the last minute. But it's like, I get my best stuff at the last minute. I get A papers, like I pass tests, like I do everything at the last minute and it's successful and it's awesome. So that's the other part to ADHD. The part that is great is that kick, that creativity that kicks in and go, okay, we know what we're going to do today. And that is the push and the pull, the yin and the yang, the two-sided coin of ADHD. And I'm going to tell you this, I used to hate it, but I love it. Especially now that I have a name for everything. Because when I was undiagnosed, I did hate it. Like, why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? And now that I know what ADHD is and that it is the executive functioning, and there are labels and titles and things like the percolation, hearing about the percolation, that made me go, oh, it's not procrastination. And now I got to adjust my thinking around ADHD and I got to embrace my brain and learn to work with it. I love it now. And it breaks my heart when I hear people talking about ADHD as if it is the crippling part to their life and not the fact that this life doesn't understand us. I love having ADHD. I absolutely love it. I take the medicine to aid me in the executive functioning of things, but the type of medicine that I take it very low dose. It still allows me to be me. In fact, it makes me more me because I get to actually act on the things that go into my head. So aside from that, I'm still me. And I don't have to wonder anymore what part is me and what part is ADHD because all of it is me. And I love it. I love being me. I love how I'm made. I love my brain. I love the creativity. I don't really care about the time blindness. I don't actually. Like, I really don't. The parts I don't love is when I don't have my medicine available because because I'm in such a stressful situation of life, um, without medicine, all I do is think about it. And that may come off to people like depression, but it's not. The thing with ADHD is we have intrusive thoughts and we have thoughts on loops. And so my mind will go over everything. Why did somebody say this? Why did somebody do that? Why did I do this? Why didn't I do that? And then I'm on a downward spiral. Someone called it ants, automatic negative thought syndrome. And it's just a spiral, a spiral, a spiral. And that's not depression. That's just your brain not shutting up. Depression's different. I've been at depression. I've been, why does anything matter? Why do we do anything? I was there like 14 years ago. And so, and I'm actually grateful now that I was there because I know the difference between the two. That is not what I'm experiencing. What I'm experiencing is an extremely stressful situation. And that stressful situation plays on loops over and over and over again. Not enough to keep me up. Um, I don't have insomnia or anything like that, but the thing with your brain when you have ADHD is it holds on to everything and it just recycles, not recycles, but replays everything. And that's not depression. Like we have to be clear. That's not depression. That is your ants. Your ants are marching. Automatic negative thought syndrome. Your ants are marching. And so other than that, like and that's a big thing. So I'm not disregarding that. That's a big thing that can lead you to do some impulsive behaviors. Um, like how people say that they're addicted to things. You're not addicted, you have ADHD. For the most part, that's what's going on. Is that you're not addicted, you have ADHD and some trauma you need to deal with, you know. But like gambling addiction, drinking, drugs for the most part, sex addiction, a lot of those things are not actually addictions. They are impulsive thinking that just go marching on and on and on. And you'll find that a lot of people who do those things are neurodiverse. Now, some of that neurodiversity is caused by trauma. And so things have to be dealt with. Um, but for the most part, it's without trauma. Like if you really take it apart from that, the reward that you get for your addiction is to that immediate scratch of an itch, right? And you feel bad afterwards. But that immediate scratch of an itch, that's that dopamine chase. Um, Now I'm going too far, so I'm going to pull back in and I'm actually going to get off. But I think that's something that really needs to be discussed more and understood better. All right, y'all. So thank y'all for tuning in after midnight. I am about to do my video. November is coming up, and you know, people are talking about just get on YouTube, just get on YouTube, just get on YouTube. And everyone's like, what do I talk about? And so let's give you some guidelines. Let's give you some parameters. And that's what November is about. November is about having something to talk about. And so let me make that video so I can post it. And I will see y'all in another one. Bye now.